They did it. The madmen actually did it. We knew 6v6 would be coming back a little while ago, but man is it great to have some actual confirmation and information about the return of 6v6. In this video, I'm gonna do a full breakdown of exactly what's happening with the game mode, as it's actually much more than just we're getting another tank. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm going to ask you to subscribe, because I want to continue making Overwatch 2 related content that isn't only entertaining, but educational too. Now, let's discuss the return of 6v6. Man, that feels so good to say. As I briefly mentioned before, it's actually much more than just 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 support, as they're trialing 6v6 in various ways. We're going to be getting a few test weekends for 6v6, but it won't necessarily be the standard 2 per role layout that we're used to. The first of these tests is going to be minimum 1, maximum 3, where teams can have up to 3 of any role, but have to have at least 1 of every other role. For example, you might decide you want to trial 3 tanks, 2 support, and 1 DPS. It doesn't say anywhere that you can't just run a normal 2 per team comp, so alternatively, if you want to do that, you could. It literally just says 1 minimum, 3 maximum, so there's nothing stopping you from playing 2-2-2 really. The second of these tests is going to be the original 2-2-2 formula, but with a few changes here and there to balance things out, e.g. less crowd control and obviously the hero reworks. So pretty much just 6v6 with the changes made in Overwatch 2, like Mei not freezing people with her gun, and the bigger reworks to heroes like Orisa and Sombra. Yup, just raw, practically untouched 6v6. I say practically because, well, the hero changes, but that's not because of 6v6. I'm pretty excited for both of these modes, as if the response is overwhelmingly positive, they'll probably end up adding 6v6 back into the game permanently. But before we get those 6v6 game modes, they're doing a few experiments with 5v5. After all, this whole experiment is to see what works best and is the most enjoyable to the players. The first of these 5v5 experiments is called Limit 2, where, well, the limit of a role is 2. This obviously is more of a change to OpenQ, as most of the time you'll see crazy comps like 4 tanks and 1 support, which usually doesn't work, but there's the off chance that it does. This is pretty cool for those of you that play OpenQ, but if you don't really touch that, then honestly there's not much point of trying this out. By all means, give it a go, just remember that this caters more to OpenQ players. The other 5v5 experiment is called Kingmaker, a variation of Limit 2 where the player who is playing a role solo will receive a slight buff to reward the fact that they're doing the Lord's work. We don't know what this buff is going to be just yet, but the team said that they'll give specifics closer to when the mode comes out. Overall, some pretty interesting stuff for OpenQ. Kingmaker could be a huge success, especially for tank players because they're used to playing the role solo, so it will be interesting to see how they perform with this bonus. But that just about does it for all the information we have regarding the return of 6v6 and some of the experimental modes of 5v5. 6v6 will be returning in Season 14, and the 5v5 modes will be coming out at some point later this season. Wow, it looks like they're really putting everything into Season 14 to make it one of the more standout seasons. We're getting 6v6 back for a limited time, a new tank, and most importantly, a Venture skin. What next? Are they going to delete Sombra? Now that would be a Christmas miracle. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Let me know what you think about the return of 6v6 in the comments. Are you excited to see it come back, or do you think that they should just focus on making 5v5 better? Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.